solution for each client. Visit ozarkselderlaw.com to find out more about elder law to see how we can help you and your family.
Color 10 News for your forecast first.
Well, the clouds have come into the area. Now we've started to find some wet weather moving in as well. Back to I-49 and west, we've got an area of light rain. It's just light rain, no thunder. This rain will try to spread east as we work into the evening hours, but it's battling dry air. So I think areas south of a Joplin to West Plains line probably looking at the highest chance at getting in on some of that wet weather that's spreading in from the west. We'll have a chance for showers here in Springfield and especially points south through the evening hours. Temperatures will drop out of the 70s and through the 60s. Looks like we've got one more cool day tomorrow, and then summer returning from vacation next week. I'll have all the details in your full forecast. Your news, it starts right now.
You're watching Color 10 News at 6 in high definition.
Going hungry or putting some other necessity on the line. Hundreds of people who rely on food stamps for their families are in a holding pattern. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jennifer Kilman.
Good to have you along. I'm David Oliver. This is all because of a computer problem. It's delayed applications and renewals nearly 2 months now. New at 6, Lori Patton spoke to one family that says their life is a delicate balance and this put everything at risk.
We spoke to the Department of Social Services today. They say the computer issue has been fixed and they're working hard to push those applications along. The family we spoke with has a teenage son and their dad is in the last stages of pancreatic cancer. They're concerned that soon won't be soon enough.
Next month will be 4 years.
That's how long ago Billy Tipton was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Now in a small back bedroom in their Springfield home, Barb Tipton's husband is losing his cancer battle, hardly recognizable from his past life. Barb had to quit her job to care for Billy.
I have been here 15 months, taking care of him.
They had been living off Billy's disability and food stamps from the state of Missouri. Barb said she had her 17-year-old son take her application for renewal down to the Springfield DSS office. And then she heard nothing. Upon checking her card, she found no assistance. The card had been canceled.
Without these stamps, either I can't pay my bills, either I can't pay my rent, my electric, because I have to buy food. If I do this, I take a chance of getting kicked out of the house. If I get a chance of getting kicked out of the house, they take my husband. They put him in a nursing home.
Barb and other food stamp recipients say they had no warning, but the Department of Social Services knew of the problem. Now they're working to resolve it. Communications Director Rebecca Wolfel says there was an issue with our computer system that manages the food stamp applications in your area, and it has slowed the processing time for those applications. Currently, the processing time for applications in your area may be up to 50 days compared to the typical average processing time of under 30 days. This computer issue has been resolved, and we are diligently working to get applications processed as quickly as possible to return to a normal processing time.
No, they don't understand this. They don't have to. They're not depending on this.
In the meantime, Barb Tipton says families like hers wait precariously.
I have to depend on this. I have to fight for this. Without this, I lose everything.
Now, Barb Tipton says she has spent countless hours on the phone trying to resolve this issue. According to the DSS spokesperson, based on the most recent numbers from June of 2014, there were 386 food stamp applications pending for more than 30 days. DSS apologizes for the difficulty that people are having. Now, they're asking those affected to call 573-751-8959 or email the address on your screen. The DSS spokeswoman says they can offer special assistance. Now, we'll add all of that information in this story to ozarksfirst.com.
All right, Lori, thank you. Federal prosecutors believe the man who robbed a Springfield bank last week once worked as a bailiff at the Greene County Courthouse. Timothy Polodna is accused of demanding money from the manager of the Bank of America on West Kearney. Investigators say a witness followed the suspect and was able to describe the getaway truck. That led to a tip about the truck's owner, who turned out to be Polodna's father.
Well, gardeners around the Ozarks are taking full advantage now of our cooler than normal weather, but it does come at a price. Lower temperatures may be great to work in, but they also delay some vegetables. Our Tri-Lakes reporter Grant Sloan is live with a story in our Branson studio tonight.
Well, David, we spoke with gardeners out at the McKenna Family Farm and also at College of the Ozarks, and they told us about that delay with some vegetables because of the cooler temperatures, but they also gave us some tips on how you can still keep your garden looking its best. Gardening at Hardwork U this time of year is still hard work, but the cooler temperatures has both the gardeners and their garden thriving.
It's been a little cool, but you know, it's for working out in it, it's just ideal. For one person or two in the middle.
Eric Bright says this is the second year for the farmers market of College of the Ozarks.
This year, what we focused on going into it was more variety and more color. This is the first year we've grown sweet corn, and it's been a huge success.
Bright says the light jacket weather has even helped keep the pests away.
Well, anytime a plant is under stress, it's going to be more susceptible to insect damage.
However, for some, the cooler than normal temperatures are delaying plants like peppers and tomatoes.
People are saying our tomatoes are just not ripening. They're not going to. They're not damaged. They're not hurt. It's just going to take another couple weeks, you know, then later than you're used to.
E.J. McKenna with McKenna Family Farm says tomatoes normally need 70-degree temperatures at night and 85 or 90-degree temperatures during the day. He says the spring rains, while helping some plants, are also hurting others.
Cantaloupes, watermelons, our pumpkins out in the field, you know, they're all water. So, I mean, the more water, the bigger the cantaloupe or the watermelon, and that's great. Tomatoes, again, however, they're very finicky. Those cold temperatures and all that rain promotes a lot of mildew, a lot of fungus.
McKenna says you can help avoid mildews by watering at the bottom of the plant and not on the leaves. And he says if you do it right, you can keep the produce looking its best.
You want it to stay consistent. If you water every night, then water every night. Plants get used to that schedule, and that's what they develop. Tomatoes will start getting cat faces, deformities on them if you start changing your water pattern even.
Well, the tomatoes may keep the gardeners busy. Right now, they can at least enjoy the weather while they're working.
I cannot complain a bit about the weather.
Now, McKenna did give us one more tip before we left today. He also gave us a tomato, and while this one is pretty ripe, he says for the best taste, you need to pick tomatoes when they're about 2/3 ripe instead of about 1/3 ripe that you see some stores doing. David, Jennifer?
All right, Grant Sloan, thank you. Several tattoo inks and needles are under recall due to bacterial contamination. Color 10's Lindsay Day spoke with one local tattoo artist to find out what we need to know.
Well, Jennifer, recent FDA lab tests revealed pathogenic bacteria in certain tattoo supplies. This can lead to sepsis, an infection complication that can be life-threatening. A local tattoo artist I spoke with says this highlights an even bigger issue in the tattoo industry, a lack of regulation.
Extreme risks. I mean, we're talking death. I mean, there's things out there that can kill you.
Like the bacteria FDA lab tests revealed in certain tattoo inks and needles, one sold in kits by companies like White and Blue Lion.
Absolutely, a bottle of ink can get contaminated real quick.
So how do we know if these contaminated inks are being used locally?
You can't. There's no way to tell other than the reaction that people have to it.
These tattoo inks and needles have been available for anyone to purchase online.
Kids, anybody with a credit card can buy tattoo equipment, buy any kind of inks, whatever they want, and generally they're going to buy the cheap stuff.
Davis says this is a problem occurring all around us.
Everywhere. We have people coming in almost every week wanting to sell us their stuff that they purchased online because they realize that it's crap and they can't do anything with it, you know.
20-year-old Michael has 25 tattoos. He says he selects where he gets them carefully.
You definitely want to make sure that you're comfortable with them just being clean. Like you can just notice that everything is clean. And I mainly just get tattoos from here.
The inks that they're recalling right now are ones that we never use anyway.
Davis says this recall points to a larger problem in the tattoo industry.
You know, there's no FDA regulation on tattoo inks like I was telling you before, none whatsoever.
Here's a statement from the FDA. At present, there is no specific FDA regulatory requirement that tattoo inks be sterile. However, consumers can reduce the likelihood of experiencing infections by asking tattoo artists if the inks have been formulated or processed to ensure they are free from harmful pathogens. One illness is reported as of today's date. If you want to see a graphic video of what can happen from a tattoo infection, we'll include a link under this story on our website, ozarksfirst.com.
Lindsay, thanks. Also tonight, new at 6, bringing clean water to Greene County. That's what the new water tower located near Highway 60 is doing today. The tower was sanitized and filled with water. It stands 128 feet tall and can hold up to 1 million gallons of water. The water comes from the Blackman Water